and welcome back to the Reapers. So we're in the Ka-50s again, and we're going to start with the weapons. This will probably be a series of videos, but we'll just start here. So the first thing to do, I believe, is set your radio down here to ground crew, so they listen to you. Right, what do I want to arm up with, Sherman? Oh, the thing, there's only 4 slots, you know. Are you aware of that?
Yes, there are 4 weapon stations on the Blackshark. Don't complain, there's plenty of weaponry to go around.
Should we do rockets on the inner pylons?
So on the inner pylons we shall go with rockets. I'm going to take the S8 rockets, and on the outer pylons we're going to go with our favorite missiles, which are the APU-6, the Vikhrs.
So just having a look here, you get basically rockets or a UKP pod. That's a gun pod, isn't it?
Yeah. You also get bombs in this thing, believe it or not.
Oh wow! You get Vikhrs and you get KH-25s. And yeah, amazingly, you get bombs, but we'll do bombing another day, I think. But okay, so today we're going to try Vikhrs and rockets and hopefully guns. We'll see. Okay, Cap, arming up. I'm going to do it full fuel. It seems to have plenty of power.
Yep, that's the benefit of having a helicopter with 2 engines instead of 1.
Right, tell me about it.
Okay, so all my shit's armed.
Almost done. Okay. Cap is armed up. So the first thing, do we want to do anything on the ground, or are we going to do stuff in the air?
Yes, we'll start on the ground with the Schwal, because this is important.
Okay, now I do have a little bit of experience from the Su-25 Schwal, but I don't even know how to turn it on in here.
So with the Schwal, what you want to do is use your uncage/designate target button to uncage it.
Stand by. I think I've got that. Pressing it now. Yes, it changed it so I can now see your helicopter.
Yes. So now just make sure that your binds for moving the camera left and right are working.
Roger, appear to work. And let me see if my zoom works. Yes, the zoom works.
Outstanding. Right. What else? There's the designate button, which should lock you onto a target.
I'm going to lock onto a wheel.
That'll do. Yeah. So essentially, this is an electrical optical sight, same way as in the Su-25T. Works on the same principle and has the same laser designation system. But there are a couple of things you need to do differently. So if you come above where the engine cutoff valves are, you've got the weapons panel, right?
Hang on. Cutoff valves are there. Okay. It's very dark in here, Sherman. I can barely see.
Let me check if the cockpit light works. It vaguely works. It's around your back, your left shoulder.
Yep, done. Okay, I've got a bit more light. So I see cannon. I see. Yep, what do we want to turn on?
So you got those 4 lights in a square, right?
Yeah, roger.
You got mode that you typically want to go for is ground moving target.
Roger.
What that'll do is it'll essentially convert the laser tracking so that it follows the target moving on the ground in a certain direction. You also have air-to-air mode, and you have air-to-air head-on mode. So you can actually use it against the air-to-air targets, but if you manage to kill like an Su-27, then he was doing something wrong.
Roger.
Another thing to note, when you have the TA marking inside of your Schwal, that means that you're good to shoot.
Yes.
And in order to uncage it, you use the uncage button, which will let go of the target.
Right, hang on. Uncage. I pressed uncage and it went almost to a blank screen. Is that normal? No, sorry. Scratch that. I was pressing the wrong things.
The button you pressed will stow it, basically, which will disable the camera and reset it to its center position.
Right, I see. So if I lock onto something you can lock onto, like your wheel, I can no longer move the cursors because it appears to be locked on. Then if I uncage it, I can then move it about again. Okay, understood.
Yes, the critical thing to remember here is that at this point your camera should be terrain locked.
Okay.
Actually, no, that's not true. When you press the lock button initially, it will terrain lock, and once it locks onto a target, it will stop moving.
Okay, I think I understand that. What about choosing a weapon? We haven't actually chosen a weapon or anything, have we?
That's what I talked to you about earlier. So first things first, make sure your master arm is on.
Stand by, looking. Right, I remember him. Where am I going to find him, though?
Maybe below the Schwal.
Below the Schwal, master arm on. Roger.
Right, so remember I told you to bind your inner and outer pylons.
Roger, got him ready. What do I do to actually, what should I do? Left pylon?
You literally press one of those buttons and it should arm the pylons.
Okay, C. I press the left one and it says C and has a dot, an aiming dot.
So the C is essentially rocket or gun mode, CCIP mode, and it will tell you that you're ready to shoot in CCIP mode.
So that was rockets then, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. How do I...
It actually tells you what store you have. If you look down at the weapons panel again, you have store HP, correct?
Yep.
You have remaining 40, as in a total of 40 rockets.
Roger.
And the one on the right is round. So what that actually is the number of bursts available in your cannon.
Okay, so how do I choose my Vikhrs then?
You select the other pylon.
Understood. So now it's chosen the Vikhrs. I have 12 of them. Understood.
Without laser designating via the Schwal, though.
Is it like the SU-25 where I have a circle that I have to get the target in on the HUD as well as doing the
It's
Schwal?
exactly the same, except the circle is substantially smaller and your missiles will be substantially more accurate if you're stationary.
I've uncaged the Schwal and it's just slowly moving to the right. Does yours do that? Scratch that. Doesn't matter. It was a bug.
Yeah.
Okay, what next, Sherman?
It's not a bug, that's a feature.
Okay.
Okay, so first things first, let's get ourselves into a state. Actually, before we do that, if you go back to the weapon armament panel, you'll notice the top left button, auto turn. When you have that enabled and you select a target, your helicopter will automatically turn itself onto the heading of your Schwal locked target in order to align itself for missile launch. So let's get ourselves into a harbor.
Is this the bottom left switch?
The one at the top left button in the row in the square of 4 buttons.
Oh, right. Hang on. I know what you're talking about. Auto turn. Shall I put that on?
Yeah, put it on at the moment because we don't have the Schwal on. So let's get ourselves into a hover and we will point ourselves northward.
Have you got your Schwal turned off?
Yes.
Right, I'm turning mine off. My green buttons on the bottom left keep resetting themselves back to off. It's very annoying.
It's because whenever you do that, it resets those modes.
Right, okay, right, we're about to take off. Let's see if I can remember how to take off this bloody thing.
Yeah, I'm shooting south of the runway. I'm just shooting at some buildings south of.
Come on, Sherman, what are you doing? Oh dear.
Making sure I don't hit you. As you can see. Alright, so I'm going to quickly go jump out for spectators.
Yeah, you catch us up.
Oh wow, my rotor is spinning up again.
Haha, lols. That won't go anywhere, Sherman. You're up, Cap.
Right, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Clearly I'm very rusty.
Okay, Ukraine helicopter, I'm following you. Take us to baddies. Quickly before the server shuts down.
Well, not really any small dinner.
Don't get this wrong, Zoidberg. Let's do it. We can shoot buses, school buses.
Well, yeah, we should probably shoot stuff at the base then.
Yeah, I'm shooting stuff just south of the base right now.
Yeah, go to where Skay is.
Okay, you lead me there.
I know.
Honestly, we can just hover right here.
Time to use the colored smoke.
Hello, Sky.
Right, I'm airborne again, coming to join you.
Have you got any weapons? Not that really matters.
I've loaded up here.
Okay, where the hell did Skate go? Oh, there he is. Right, are you guys going to hover here?
Yep. So,
What's your heading going to be?
yeah.
What's your heading going to be?
I'm hitting 170.
Roger, I'm going to be with Skate. If I can get this thing...
Basically just looking at this building south.
Skate, I'm drifting towards you. Okay, I'm fine. I'm good. We're all good, so don't you worry about anything. That was close.
We always worry when we fly with you, Cap.
Okay, I'm putting myself into a hover with Skate on 7-0. Right, what have we got to shoot, Skate? How are we gonna
Just look at those buildings right in front of you.
Roger, hang on, I'm still not hovering properly.
Yeah, get the hover first. I made the mistake as well.
Okay, shall I turn my Schwal on?
Get in the hover first. You're still moving forward. Pull back slightly.
Roger,
to stop the fall. There we go. Yeah. And then just trim it out and you should be fine.
Okay, understood. Understood. So I'm a little bit drifty, so just keep an eye on me.
Yep, you just and bust my guns.
Right, so once you're in a stable hover and you've selected your Vikhrs missiles, you'll need to go back to the weapons panel, make sure your laser is armed because that will be disabled too. Select ground moving target and auto turn.
Hang on, Sherman, hang on. Right, so Schwal on first, yeah?
Yes.
Right, so Schwal on is that. Next, laser on. Now that is the L41.
It's the weapons panel, yeah, the laser panel. Laser standby on off switch.
Roger, and auto turn and move grund tudged. Now let's turn my damn Schwal off again. Let me try it again. Schwal is on, laser is on. Okay, Sherman, I've got everything. No, I've not my weapon selected. That is just having a moment. Yep, I've got it selected. How do I shoot this mother down? How do I aim?
Right, so use your targeting slew to aim the camera at the building, lock the target. The helicopter should start automatically turning towards the target. You should also see on your HUD reticle there's a little circle with an outer ring.
Okay, I'm going... No, I don't see the circle, but I'm going to lock the vehicle nearest the building standby. Okay, I've locked in, but it's saying got a big cross through it, Sherman. Got a big cross through it.
Cross through what?
On the Schwal, when I'm locking him, it's a blinking cross, suggesting that I can't fire for some reason.
It's probably a minimum range warning.
Roger, I'm going to back off.
Where are you?
Quite close to the target.
That might explain it. Alternatively, you could just aim at something a little further away.
There's just trees beyond that. I'm backing off.
But we can climb a bit higher and hit some buildings past it. Just put power and then should climb.
Unlocking. Right, I'm increasing altitude.
Did you map your collective brake?
Collective brake. We don't have a collective brake. Negative.
Yes you do.
Alright, so don't panic. For the rest of you, I'm sending you a data link target we can reference.
Oh my god.
What chicken?
Okay, I'm up at 60 meters. I can see the world now.
Choose something in the world to shoot at.
Stand by. Just leveling off. Okay, we're now leveled off. Right, okay, camera. No, that can't be right.
So, first things first, check that you have the correct store selected.
Right, do we have, yes we do. The two lights are on, the laser is on. So I'm now going to look at something away. It says a number on the Schwal, is that the range?
At the base, yes. It's based on the laser designator, so if you don't directly laser target, it will guesstimate it, but for the moment you laser, it will correct with the laser range.
Roger, I do have a little... I can't find anything. Where is all the building? Ah. Hello, right, I found a hospital. It says it's 0.4 away, and it's got a big cross through it again. And this
minimum range again.
It's miles away, Sherman. It's miles away. It can't be right. I must have doing something wrong. This is one of the villages ages away.
Then it might. I'm not sure what you're doing.
I'm gonna reset the shroud. See if I've done something wrong. Right.
Yeah, I'm shooting some stuff.
You're not talking about that weapons depot right below you, Cap.
No, I'm aiming at a village several miles away. Okay, I'm now going to aim again. Let's see what we can find. Okay, I'm no longer getting a range marking for some reason. Laser is on. Let's see how we get on this time.
Yeah, remember, you have to reset the laser every time you reset the camera.
Serious?
Yes.
Well, turn it off and on?
As in type of lock.
Should I try firing without the laser? Then
It won't work with this weapon.
Okay, so laser is going off. Laser is going on. Okay. I'm not getting a distance marker anymore, but it's all kosher otherwise. I'm going to lock onto the hospital. Yes, it says it's 12.3 miles away. No, but the thing is, it's not really locking because I can still move the cursor. Is it locked if I can still move the cursor about?
So it'll terrain lock. What it'll then attempt to do is electrically operate the dashed square, which is in the center.
Okay, am I good to fire now?
You should be good to shoot now as well.
Right.
So if you got the weapon selected, if you look in the HUD now, you should see a small circle which represents where your shroud is pointed, right?
Roger.
And is there another larger circle?
No, there was the previous time I tried, but this time it's just a small circle.
Well, in that case, your pylon either isn't selected or your master arm's off.
Master arm is on. Laser is on. Both of my auto turn and movement are on.
And your pylons?
Oh, I haven't got the weapon selected. Yep. Right. Stand by. Starting it again.
Just try and select the weapon. It shouldn't change anything.
Okay. I've got the Vikhrs select. Yeah. I've got two circles outside the big circle now.
Yes, so what you should see, the outer circle represents the range gate, just like in the SU-25's outer circle, and the inner one represents the area where you need to be pointing your helicopter. You'll notice it's slightly offset to either the right or the left, which is due to the launcher being on that side of the helicopter.
Understood. So do I want to get the little circle inside the big ones? Is that right?
Yes, that's what the auto hover will approximately line you up, but it won't be 100% perfect all the time, so you have to make a minor adjustment to fix that.
What would happen if I fired when my circle was outside of the big circle?
You would not be guaranteed a laser target track, and due to the way that this missile tracks, it would probably miss.
Roger. Right, am I good to fire now?
One last thing, click the lock button again. You should notice a couple of numbers pop up on your HUD for a few seconds.
Yeah, they did.
That is a laser align. Once that ends and you see a C on your HUD, you're cleared to fire.
They did end and I didn't see a C, but I could try firing anyway.
Alright, so the reason you don't see a C is probably because it's beyond maximum range.
It's 12.1, whatever that means, 12.1 kilometers.
Yeah, so again, the outer circle will tell you whether you're in range or not. You should see a couple of points sticking out of the circle. The one on top represents your minimum range, the one on the bottom left represents your maximum range.
Roger, but I don't know where I am within that. I've got no cue where I am within that.
I mean, your camera will tell you. You just slew the camera around and you click the lock button on the terrain and the laser rangefinder will tell you exactly.
Roger, it's telling me it's 12 kilometers. So what's the maximum range of the missile?
With one...
It's about 10, I think.
It's about 8 in most.
Right, so we think this is too far away. That's what we're getting at here.
Basically. It's about 10 kilometers according to this.
Roger. So what we're going to try and do then is to shoot a tree. Okay, I've aimed at a tree that's 2.5 kilometers away. Is that... Yes. It's got
It's
C.
actually maximum range is about 7.
Right, I see how the I now see how the range cursor works. Yeah, it was out of range before. Okay, guys, I've got a lot of confirmation on this tree. That's 2.5 clicks away. I've got my weapon selected. Can I fire at it?
Yeah, just press the weapons release and you should launch.
Woo!
So you'll notice in the camera as this thing, it seems to be spinning, right?
Roger.
That is how the weapon is guided. It literally spins round in a circle trying to zero itself in. Ooh, and there's Air Force Proud landing with us.
Okay, good news is I did blow the tree up. Now I want a target that blows up, so I'm going to look for a more difficult target. Stand by.
You can just target me on the front line.
I mean, technically that's possible. That would require the air-to-air mode.
No, I'll just stay on the front line. Like, I'll just stay shut down. Once I actually get reconnected.
I'm going to test whether I can fire outside of maximum range. Nope, no launch authorization.
You can turn that
I know there's an override, but yeah, generally you wouldn't use it. Alright, there's another target for me. Rifle.
There's a house for me, so lock onto the house. Select the weapon of choice. Turn the laser on, turn that on. Okay, I'm going to fire at this house, guys. Get ready. Locked. Oops. Range is good, but my circle is... there it is. Cap is... rifle. Come on, baby.
Launch.
Come on, baby. Hit that house. Oh, it just went beyond it. Just beyond it.
Yeah, you see, this is the problem with these missiles. Because of their circular adjustments, they do not do fine movements very well without a large amount of distance.
Roger. I'm going to try another go, chaps.
You can fire them on the move, but then they'll do much larger circles.
Oh, I get that.
Rifle cap. Shack.
Good shack.
Hey, we're getting the hang of this now, guys. Right. Right, I'm happy I can use the, well, kind of use the, what are these called? Vikhrs.
Yes.
Should we move on to the rockets, gentlemen?
Yes, so now it's quite simple. Switch to your rockets pylons, which are the inner ones.
Shall I turn my cheval off?
You don't need to, you can leave it on while you're doing this, but it will not affect how the weapons release works.
I'll just stand by as I sort some stuff out. Right, I have the rocket selected, HP. Shall I turn my laser off?
No, for automatically designate as needed.
Right, so I do have a pipper up, a bit like an Su-25 does. Shall I just run in and shoot something? I don't see a range bar anywhere.
It's essentially a CCIP, and attached to that pepper is a little bit of a range bar, so literally just run in and then fire on the CCIP.
Roger. Running in. I noticed night mode's turned on now because it's getting dark.
Say again?
It appears that night mode is on my HUD now.
Not sure how that happened automatically, mine's still in day mode.
How do I tell if I've got my auto hover on? I can't tell if I've got it on or not.
There's a... hang on, there's a...
green light above.
actually a light. Yeah, there's a light on the top panel which says auto hover when it's enabled.
Roger, noted. Right, I'm going to shoot some old Aunt Mavis's house standby. Interestingly, my speed has disappeared off my HUD.
For what?
My speed.
Probably because you're in attack mode, and that's the least of your worries.
Roger. Cap is... rifle. Yes! Good song. Good song. Hospital. Good song. That is how you attack a hospital, guys. Woo!
Okay, so one last thing that we need to cover before we sort out some of the more unique stuff in the Ka-50 guns mode. Remember that gun flip-up switch?
Oh god, hang on, I've got to get my helicopter sorted. It's all trimmed out of whack. Stand by. Okay, I'm good, Sherman. Right, something about a gun switch.
Right, so your trigger has a gun switch button that you have to click in order to enable your gun.
Yes, I remember.
So click that.
Yep.
You probably won't see it because of how dark it is, but on the joystick a little lever will have been flipped up.
Roger. And I've got another aiming reticle, so I can just put that on the target, yes?
It's a Ccip guns reticle, so the gun works in two ways. Either standard Ccip, so you can just fly in and use your guns.
Yep.
Which is which you're probably doing now.
Yep.
Or when you have your Shroud active and locked on the ground, what will happen is when you have a target picked up, you will see a little box on the right side of your HUD appear. That represents the gun slew limits when you're locking onto a target. As long as your target is within the slew, you can pull the trigger and it will aim at that point.
Roger, I'm going to put us in auto hover in a second and try and work that out. Auto hover on. Okay, Schval is on. So you have a little target. Locking on. Locked on, and gets on. Yes, it works, Sherman, it works.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? There's one more little trick. Just make sure that you're in a stable hover when you do it first.
What's that?
Let me see, where is it? There's a button here which allows you to drop down a helmet-mounted sight.
Oh my goodness. I pressed it, and I've got a little crosshair thing, yeah.
Yes, so by default, in daytime mode, this will be attached to the helmet of the Ka-50's pilot. Where you look with this thing will automatically guide both the gun and the Shroud.
My word.
So
Yes,
both your...
it works. Oh no, it wasn't. It didn't work. Oh, I see. So wherever you've got it, then you press the gun cage, and it goes to it.
Yeah, and if you press and hold the Shroud cage button, the Shroud will follow it too.
Yep, so I'm going to shroud my arse over there. And there it is, look. Gets on.
Right. Yeah, the way it works is you hold down the Shroud cage button, you look where you want to aim, and you pull the trigger.
Roger, it says I'm out of limits, so let's see what I've done wrong.
Remember that big box is the limits of your cannon.
Roger, noticed. Let's see if I can get it now. No, still can't. Must be too far away.
Yeah, remember, if you see a C on your HUD and on your Shroud, you're within firing range.
Okay, let's pick something a bit more realistic. Let's pick Mavis's house there. Get on! Get on! How very exciting. So, we've got the cannon in 3 different modes. The Vikhrs with the Shval. And rockets on Ccip mode. I found that thoroughly enjoyable. I hope you use that. On our next video, we'll go and do some bombs or something different. Anything else before we sign off, Sherman?
Nothing that we shouldn't cover in the next video because it's getting dark and I want to show you the night vision.
Whee! Okay, many thanks, and we'll see you later.